everybody, welcome back to episode 90.
90.
Already. We have to like come up with like a big thing for our 100th.
You know, we should be wearing like flannel shirts.
We should.
Because it's the 90s.
It is.
We should be doing like a grunge thing.
Darn it.
We could play.
Hold, we're going to go change.
I was going to look up, I got to slide over there because I'm not centered. And that'll distract me the whole time. We should have looked up how to play some Nirvana songs.
I know.
Here we are now.
We'll do that for next time. So I was just looking at the date today. Well, first of all, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. It was a great day yesterday, and as you saw, our son made a totally deluxe pie.
That was pretty amazing.
So for those of you who don't know, he's been vegan for... he's 22. He's been vegan for maybe 4 or 5 years now.
Well, he started in high school.
Yes, he's been vegetarian since high school.
Yeah,
since he was like 14, and then he was gluten-free for a period with vegetarianism, and now he's just vegan. So when he asked me what kind of dessert I wanted for my birthday, I love a chocolate dream pie. A fun fact: when I was growing up, there was a Baker's Square restaurant. If you ever had, I don't know, were those nationwide?
I think it was a chain.
Okay, so...
Well, there were definitely multiple locations, but I think it was around the country.
So me and my sister and our 2 best friends that were twins on our way home from school would stop at Baker's Square, each get a slice of pie, and get a basket of fries to share. And it was crazy. But I always got the chocolate dream pie because they had like the chocolate shavings on top.
Was that the French silk pie?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
It's chocolate dream.
If I remember correctly, it had the French the chocolate shavings, but did it also have like mini chocolate chips on the top too?
Yes.
So chocolate, whipped cream, shaved chocolate.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And the good thing about this pie that Mark made was that it was sweet, but it wasn't like overly sweet.
No.
It was very chocolatey, but not like.
And the crust was Oreo.
It didn't hurt
crust.
your teeth.
That's true, and you could finish a piece, no problem.
Yeah.
Which I
I could finish. Yeah. I could have eaten the whole thing.
Yeah. So so nice. We still have leftovers, so I might have some later tonight.
Ooh,
yeah. Not with coffee, because then we won't go to sleep.
We didn't have coffee last night either.
That's true.
You get some Folgers crystals. You just put it in the cabinet and you forget about it.
You're
Somebody
ready?
comes over, you're ready.
Seinfeld reference.
It's Mr. Bookman.
Mr. Bookman. And today actually is 10 weeks since we got our cats. So
yeah, that's right.
We owe an email to the Animal Care League updating them about how they're doing. We named them Waffle and Gordon. As you know, they were named Melody and Tiff when we got them. So we'll have to remember to let them know how Melody and Tiff are. Now Waffle and Gordon are adjusting, and they're doing amazing.
AKA.
Yes. So it seems like we've had them forever, though. I mean, it really seems like they just blended in right off the bat.
That's true. Although it is funny to think that, so they were 8 months when we got them, and now they're 10 months. And it just doesn't seem like they're any older.
No.
I think Gordon has gotten a little bigger.
Okay, so case in point, last night we're just watching TV, and then Gordon comes sauntering in very slowly, and she has one of my socks in her mouth.
Her mouth.
So she wants to play with that. She's jumping on the coffee table. She wants us to play with her. Then 2 seconds later, Waffle came in with like I have a wristband in the basement like for sweat, you know, like if you're like doing that.
You have to do the Billy Idol thing.
What is the Billy Idol thing?
That's what we were talking about before. That song "Dancing with Myself." Like sweat, sweat. Yeah.
She got it in the basement and she came up and was playing with that, and so it was like throughout the night they just kept on coming with things in their mouths, and we just kind of had to like keep on scooping things up. Like it's time to settle down now because they definitely have an active streak around the 11 o'clock hour.
Oh, every night.
every night.
But we haven't been watching basketball, although we should be, but we didn't. We took yesterday off for your birthday, but I missed it. And so now we talked about on Tuesday, I couldn't remember, we talked about the basketball tournament. That's why I wear my U of I thing. So what I feared came to pass because both the University of Illinois and Loyola University Chicago won in the first round, which means they play tomorrow. So I'm wearing this tonight because I can't wear it tomorrow.
Right.
In fact, tomorrow I'm just going to go outside and stay outside
and just look at the sky
until it's all over. I'm going to leave my phone. I'm not going anywhere because it's like, no good can come of this.
Yeah. Because it's very stressful, obviously, when you want one team to win. And who knows? And they, actually, Loyola, it was a pretty close game, or was it a
No,
blowout?
Loyola did really well. But see, the thing of it is everyone else I have one sister who also went to the University of Illinois. She went for law school, law school, that was me. She went for veterinary school. But everyone else in my family, they don't have a conflict. They can all root for Loyola and be happy, but I can't. And it's like two of your children boxing,
right,
getting in a fight, like a literal
How can you pick
fight.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to disappear tomorrow.
What time is the game at?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I want to know. I don't want to know
Yeah.
anything. I don't want to know until it's over. And if I talk to my siblings tomorrow, I can't wear this.
Yep.
I shouldn't make it sound like that. It's not like they're gonna. I mean, they'll care, but they're not gonna care. They're not gonna be mad or anything like that. But it's just too weird for me personally because, I mean, I clearly would root for Illinois even over Loyola. But it's like being disloyal to my family since my dad taught there for 100 years and many other family members went there. So it puts me in a weird, awkward position.
I think it's gonna be fine.
No, but it's not gonna be fine.
Well, yeah,
because there's no good outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Me.
It's a no-win situation.
No, so Loyola did what? So Illinois is the number 1 seed in the Midwest region. Loyola is the number 8 seed. So typically the 1 would play the 8 in the second round. However, in the first round, 8 and 9 play each other. And so you would think that would be a close game. 2 close, they're ranked close. Does that make any sense? They're 8 and 9 in that region, right? So, but, and historically, 9 seeded teams tend to beat the 8 seeded teams. That's one of those upsets you always look for. 11 and 6, that's usually a common one. The 11 will often beat the 6. But in any event, so you expect it at the very least to be a close game, and in fact, it wasn't. I mean, I didn't watch it because I was too nervous. I didn't want the whole thing. Like the whole thing with Illinois having to play Loyola, it really gives me a lot of anxiety. However, Loyola won by 11 points, so you'd expect it to be a really close game. At least in terms of the score, it was not close. So obviously, Loyola's a good team. I mean, we knew they were a good team anyway. It's not like that in and of itself is new. But it's distinctly possible they could beat Illinois. It's not even, that would not be a stretch at all. Plus, there's a lot of emotion involved in the game and all that. So, it's a no-win situation for me. I guess if Illinois wins, then after tomorrow, I don't have to worry about it too much. Because it won't be any.
Watch the next game if they win Loyola.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sure. But I mean, and I would have even watched yesterday, but it was the middle of the day, and it was your birthday, and you're so demanding on your birthday that
we just had to take today.
Yeah, we had to put up banners and streamers, and
there was
we had to put out a press release.
Yeah. But since we only have one child home at the moment, he was on deck with my gifts and did amazing. So
excuse me.
I also got an Apple Watch, which I'm still learning how to use. And of course I was like, I can just get a used one. I was like telling David which ones I wanted, and he's just like, no. So I got a brand new one, so I'm super excited about it.
But what, as you were saying, Mark deserves a lot of credit.
Yes. Because he ordered everything, wrapped it, and made a card. Can't reach it right now.
Oh, I'll get it. Except that I don't want to strain myself. I don't want to pull a hammy.
So he made this card. And on the inside, like our daughter wrote in it, and she's in college. So I was like, how did you have her sign it, and he had her write it on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and then text it to him so that he could scan it onto the card. So all of the kids got to
pretty
sign
impressive.
it. So
And high tech.
super nice.
I texted them all a few weeks ago, right around well, it was after I ordered the watch. Jennifer knew that we ordered the watch
Yes.
because that particular band, you have to size it. It doesn't have a clasp.
Yeah, because it has like a little stretchy thing, so it can't be too big.
So, we couldn't do the whole complete surprise thing. We had to sit down at the computer and order.
Mm-hmm.
It's complicated. Apple makes things very complicated.
Yes, they do.
But so after I ordered it, a few days later, I texted all three of the kids and said, okay, so I got this, so, let me know what else you want to do, and so on and so forth. Mark was already on it. He was and Claire, and Claire, and they had talked about it, and Claire, who's away at college, was also taking care of things. I don't mean to suggest they weren't.
Yes.
But he was the leader, the ringleader. It was very impressive.
He has a talent for that. I mean, it's like really like he likes to plan ahead, and he likes to get things beforehand. So I think that's a great trait. I've always intended to be a last minute shopper.
I broke it, so I don't have it on, but he also picked out my watch.
Yes.
Which it's actually not really broken. It's just that I dropped it and the band came apart, and there's a little pin in there. It's too hard for me to figure out. So I've got to bring it to a jeweler.
And the jeweler's store in our town, well, there's several, but the one that we go to, they actually closed. Like the person who owned it retired, and so they closed the store even before the pandemic.
Well, sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Because when I brought I guess it was when we brought your dress watch in to have it sized properly.
And have some of the links taken out.
They told us that they were closing.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be done.
So they closed. They had like a big sale and everything, and then it reopened back up. One of the kids, their children, ended up taking over the store, and then it came back. So we've driven by several times. We just have not been in to drop it off.
I'm trying to look up. Yeah, I was going to look up the time of the game. So I have to, and they'll fix it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, while you wait.
They're very good at that sort of thing because they sized mine. When they sized that watch when I got it. They had to take a couple of links out or something like that. But
So one thing I saw, since somebody had left a comment about don't forget the women's tournament, basketball tournament going on right now. I actually am somehow following somebody who's in basketball in college doing the NCAA, and so she posted a thing. I don't know if it was on Instagram or TikTok, but anyway, she posted a thing where the amenities for the men versus the women were like, so drastically different. So for example, they had like a huge gymnasium for the men that had all different circuits, training, everything you can imagine. Their swag bag was huge. And then the women, they had like a rack that had like a 5, 7, and 10-pound dumbbells and like a table, and that was it. However, update, because of the social media hoopla about that,
right.
They matched it, and now they have everything.
They're not identical, apparently, but they did upgrade the women's quite a bit. So there's still some gap in there, but it's not as bad as it was.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you see other teams, they're obviously boasting online like, oh, this is so... And then you see it and you're just like, well, I don't get that. Right,
and they try to argue, the NCAA was like, oh, well, it wasn't intentional. They were kind of like scrambling to put everything together because of the, everyone's sort of like locked down in a little bubble. All the teams are playing in really, locations that are really close by, so there's not a lot of travel. And they tried to make it sound like, well, it was it was a challenge to get all this together. And it's like, yeah, but you knew that you were going to have both tournaments taking place simultaneously. They're athletes and both, things.
Yeah.
And they have, very similar requirements. They're playing the same sport.
Right.
So in terms of things like weights and, all that, I mean, the regimen, is going to be pretty similar, and you should just have equal facilities. It's not that complicated.
I know.
Especially because this is the kind of thing you hear about all the time. The prize, not the prize money, but the pay for the women's soccer team was considerably less than the national U.S. national teams, less than the men's team. The men's team is not. Have they ever won anything? The women's team they've won the World Cup. They've been competitive. They've done well in the Olympics and all that. Won the gold medal, obviously. It's just like this is someone's gonna point this out because it's stupid and it's wrong, and it is. And this $1 billion institution that the NCAA is, they couldn't get their act together and figure it out. So I not that we want to get all serious, but I hate the NCAA as an organization. They are gangsters, in my view. They've been sued for antitrust violations and lost, but don't get me started on that. They had literally for decades they had a vendetta against the University of Illinois. So yeah, I take it personally. It's like the Michael Jordan meme. And I took that personally.
Right.
Yes,
right.
I take all of this personally because, they don't pay their players. They make billions off the name, image, and likeness of the players. It's exploitive, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
So I'm glad they rectified it. So shout out that social media made the change.
I won't say anything again about my deep-seated, visceral hatred of the NCAA as an organization.
I also got this shiny cup from a birthday. I just realized it was super shiny.
trying to calm everything back down again.
Yeah. Show pretty things.
Yeah.
Show shiny things. So yeah. What
Did I throw you off your game now?
Yeah.
By getting controversial?
Oh, the other
when
thing
we stop being polite and we start being real.
Right.
Or getting real. What do they say?
Stop getting real.
When
I think it is.
It's the real world. This is the real world.
We watched a couple episodes of the Real World reunion.
The reunion.
It's hard to say that. Real
the first
World.
Cast.
New York City. 30 years later, they're all together, except one has COVID, so he's been in a hotel, sheltered, and online or on the TV screen or whatever. But it is interesting just to see the disparity of all the controversy that they had back then versus now, and how some things haven't changed. Right,
but I think that when the show was originally on, I guess it was 1991. I think it was 20 years ago. I don't think that certain cast members, let's just say, knew really how to talk about some of the controversial issues, particularly around race. More importantly, I don't think they knew how to listen. And I think young people today, in that same age group today, are much better, both about having the conversations, but also about, frankly, about listening to what other people have to say. And being aware. So it is fascinating to watch, but I think that if a show like that started today with the same sort of cast, same, demographics, same backgrounds from the same parts of the country and all that kind of thing, I think they would have had those conversations, I think. But they would have, I think, been more informative and more interesting, whereas it is interesting to go back and watch the conversations and then see those same folks sort of review the discussions that they had and try to grapple with it.
Right.
But it would really be interesting to see. You couldn't do it on the real world because now it's sort of a contrived thing. Everybody knows what it's like and what it's like. Right. But it would be interesting to have a group of young people have those conversations today because I think you would see. I think it would be different. I think the kids would be better informed.
I think so too.
But I believe that children are our future.
They are. And then we might, our next episode might be a celebration of some sorts because Illinois Lottery just texted me before this to tell me that that's $200 million is a jackpot. So we had $2 in our lottery account, so I had to parlay that into tonight's thing.
I don't think you're supposed to tell anybody. I think. So now what happens if we win? Now you've said
we're gonna have to celebrate.
Then you'll have to pretend. No, you have to pretend that we didn't win,
right?
Because we don't.
It'd be really sad.
Yeah. Well, we get all these messages. hey, I need to have my car fixed. I need this.
Yeah.
I need that.
But I only did one ticket because your odds aren't that. There's no point in getting it.
Yeah, I'm sure I said this before, but my dad taught statistics. He taught psychology, but occasionally he would also teach statistics in college at Loyola, which is why I have this big dilemma tomorrow. But anyway, I don't recall whether he was the one who said this, but someone did some kind of statistical analysis, and they determined that, or they, figured out through mathematics that you basically have the same odds of finding a winning lottery ticket, just like on the street or something, finding it as opposed to compared to buying it. Like your odds are the same. That's how bad your odds are.
Right.
Your odds of finding a winning lottery ticket are the same as your odds of buying.
So whether you buy one ticket or 100 tickets, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
But we don't go to Vegas. We don't go to casinos. We don't go to Atlantic City.
Mm-mm.
So I don't feel bad about buying a lottery ticket.
It's all good. We don't have a gambling problem.
Well, we may have a money problem, but that's something entirely different.
So that's what we've been up to this week. I'm just trying to think of what else is going down. We worked out today.
We did work out today.
Which is good.
No tattoos today.
No tattoos.
No mock trial competitions.
Mm-hmm.
No birthdays. We're done with birthdays
for a while.
For a bit.
Yeah, until July, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday's in April.
Oh, yeah. Until April. All of a sudden, I was just like, when I said it, I was like, I don't think this is right. I won't forget your birthday, I promise.
You already did. You literally just did.
Now I need to get a really big present. Oh my God, that's too funny.
You're going to get me lottery tickets, aren't you?
Scratchers.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with us, and we'll just see you guys back here on Tuesday for another episode 91, and then we'll think of something big to do.
And we'll wear our flannel shirts, and we'll break out the guitars, and we'll play some Nirvana.
Yeah, maybe for our 100th episode, leave a comment below if you'd like us to do a live for that one. Then we could just do it live and maybe get some champagne.
When Bill O'Reilly, the Fox News guy, was on Entertainment Tonight or something like that. There's a famous clip of him getting very aggravated because things were not ready for him or something like that, and he says, screams into the camera, "F it, we'll do it live." So when he said that, I was thinking of that clip of Bill O'Reilly.
So maybe we'll do that. Who knows? But we hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye.